So we've got all these plans going there. We've got Deggie's idea. He's like, take everything off everyone. We've got Ravi's got the bar up there in Edinburgh, what he was talking about, the pub. And we've got the sandwich bar off that kid who tried to rob us. And then we've got Ezo, he's got a scaffolding firm. And, you know, it's just all going to go. We've got the Leeds lads and we need to go and take that boozer off them. But something's just like, I don't know, something's playing on my mind. And then next thing, Deggie's wife's just phoning, blowing his phone up. And he's just looking at him like, lad, answer the phone to your wife, lad. He's like, oh. But Deggie's got this big new and improved mindset now, hasn't he? He's gone all like, he's just turned into one of us. Do you know what I mean? He's been in the limo and he's just been like, you know, his mind's warped, he's tapped, and the kid's tapped. So he's like, I don't know what to do. I said, listen, lad, if you need to go home, and I'll just sort it. He's like, I said, lad, I don't need you to do nothing. I said, just when we're going up there, then get with us with these documents and all that, and we'll sort it. He's like, all right, do you mind? I'm like, no, of course I don't mind, lad. I said, you know, you can come back, stay whenever you want, it is what it is, lad, but, you know, with your wife, lad, you're going to have to go and see her, aren't you, eventually? He's like, yeah. So I said, all right, I said, you know, chin up, chest out, get back, and just sort it all out, lad, and then, you know, don't start telling her what you're up to and all that, because, you know, it might put her off you, lad, because you might, you know, you're not a met and you turn into them and this, that, and that, you know, you've come so far being legal and all that. He's like, do you reckon? I said, yeah. I said, don't just go back and spill the beans, lad. I said, you know, you've got your dough there, go and take it back, go and treat it, don't say nothing about it, put it through your company and then just, you know, just clean your dough, lad, and use it properly, do you know what I mean? But then Levy and Tosh phoned me like, what are you doing, lad? I said, I'm in mine, lad. I said, just do a text. He said, yeah. He went, do you want a scran? I said, yeah. He said, go to Mackey's. He's like, well, I'm going to Mackey's, what you want? Like, big tasty meal, 6 chicken nuggets, eggs, what do you want? Gets all the orders and all that. Lad, don't forget me barbecue sauce, because I won't eat the chips and I won't do it. Lad, stop going on, you say it all the time. I know, lad, because you've brought it loads of times, and I don't eat it without it, lad. He's like, go on, Sam, milkshake. I'm like, yeah, chocolate. He's like, eat. I'm like, what do you mean, eat? He's like, lad, stop. I'm like, lad, you get what you want, just ask me what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, takes what you want. He's like, chocolate. I'm like, in it, lad. He's like, in it. And Lev's like, hey, you're horrible, you. Shit up, lad, just get me this grand. So Lev and Tosh come, and as they come, he's like getting ready to go. He's got his stuff and all that, he's got his dough and all that. I'm like, lad, don't get pulled on the way home with that dough. And Levy's like, lad, get some dough. And Degg's like, what? Leg just flat. Levy's like, what are you messing, lad? Deggs gets off, he's going to see his wife and all that, so he's got to go back to where he's from, do you know what I mean? So he's on like a little 40-minute drive down to 62, and he. So me, Lev and Tosh, just talking, I'm telling him and all that. And he goes, is that what you're doing? I said, yeah. I said, Marky. I said, Ethan. I said, you know, Rav. He's going, lad, that's a good idea, isn't it? And Tosh is going, don't know, you know, lad. He said, I don't like the idea of it. I said, why? He said, because, lad, it's got all like legal complications and then people can tie you to places and this, that. So I'm sort of half like, so I'm starting not thinking twice, but I'm having a little think about it, you know what I mean? So he's like, when are we going up? I said, well, do you two just want to come with me? He's like, yeah. He said, lad, we'll just go and do them. I'm like, I don't know, you know, so phone's Marky's like, what's that, lad? I said, when will them kids be in that booze, lad? I said, they're there all the time. He's like, yeah, they're there all the time. I said, all right. He said, do you want to move tonight? He's like, yeah, Sam, lad, Sam, ready when you are, mate. I said, all right, who we got? He said, lad, full firm. He said, my whole firm are up for it, lad. I'm like, all right, what are you doing, taking the pub off them? I said, yeah. Like, all right, Sam. So we get ready and all that. Go to the gym, go for a scran in the cafe, not just talking, no catching up, and you know, this is going on, and Deggs has gone mad, and I'm like, yeah. I said, remember the Hammer lad? He's like, lad with the white mask on, the white belly. Like, yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? So all just laughing, having the scran. And then Ethan phones me up, and I'm like, no way. I said, what's happening, lad? He's like, what's happening? I said, what? He said, that's sorted, you know. I said, what's sorted? He said, the pub in Leeds. I said, what do you mean? He says, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean? He says, lad, haven't you heard? I said, no. I said, I've just been talking to Mark. I said, what are you on about? He's like, he said, lad, he said, it's got done last night, blazed it. I said, you blazed that pub? I said, what about them? He went, David, innit? I said, how do you know do them? He said, because I know, lad. He said, I've done my homework. He said, when we were talking about it the other day, done, lad. And I'm like, what was you doing in Leeds? He said, well, we had to go round there. He said, well, we were down there, just, you know, there was a few lads and that. So we just melted it, lad. He said, but we locked the doors and that, so they didn't get out, lad. And I'm like, yeah, man, lad, they didn't even know it was us. He said, don't even knew it was us. I just petty bombed the shit out of it, lad. He said, blocked the exits and all that. He couldn't get out, lad. He said, that was it. He said, and that's it. He said, how do you know they gone? He went, lad, the whole gaff's gone. So I'm like, what? So I'm thinking, no way. And in me, I'm thinking, lad, he just burnt our pub down. I'm thinking, that can't. I'm thinking, well, obviously he's not going to like it. That's not what he's like. So phone's Marky. I'm like, lad, have you heard about the boozer? He's like, nah. I said, lad, it's gone. He went, what do you mean? I said, lad, it's gone. He's like, what? I said, lad, I was meant to have gone last night. He went, oh, lad, I just got up. He said, I've heard no. I said, ask about it, see what's going on. He went, I'll fly down there now. I went, go on. I said, phone me back. He's like, I will. So I'm thinking, no way. But to be fair, it is funny. It is funny. And he's done it off his own bat. See, that's what mates are for. That's what mates do. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to have to give him a bit of dough, and I just know I'm not. So I said to him, I said, all right then, lad. I said, they got a bit of dough for you there. He's like, nah, it's fine, lad. I said, well, lad, it's only a petty bomb. It only costs us about 20 quid. Oh, you're mad, you lad, you're mad. He said, be sure he's got the right one. He went, yeah, it's such and such. I'm like, yeah. He went, went, defo. I said, was he in there? He went, yeah. I said, how do you know? He went, like, what's the pictures? And I was just like, no way, that's sound that. So I'm just put the phone down for him, I'm just waiting to get off Marky. Now, phone's Rav, I'm like, when's your mate going up? He's like, Friday. I said, all right. He said, make sure he gets there. He said, there's a bit of a change of plan. It's up to you if you want that, but he's got 20 grand in cash for you now. And he said, he'll give you another 70. I'm like, where's he getting that from? He said, I don't know, mate. He said, he's been doing madness because it's been playing on his mind and his bird's gonna, he's gonna, you know what I mean? He's taking the bird's business off him, lad. She's worked a life for it. And I'm like, yeah. I said, Sam said, he gets me 100 grand. He gets me 100 grand, lad. He's like, Sam said, are you lending me? He's like, I'm not lending. He said, no, do me. He said, what about that other boozer in Edinburgh? He said, whatever you want to do, Barry, we'll still do it, lad. He's like, all right, Sam. So I'm thinking, you know what, straight away, if that's gone in Leeds and then he's passing me 100 quid in cash, then he's out the case as well. I'm still going to batter him. No, there's no way I'm not. He's still absolutely getting it. So that's that. So if we go up there on Friday and he's got 100 grand in cash for me, he can keep his business, but I'm going to absolutely smash his head in. And that's like fair enough, because to be fair, I should just do him, just anyway, do you know what I mean? So, I'm thinking. Next thing, Marky gets back to me. I'm like, what's that? He's like, oh, my lad, you are looking at it. I said, what? He said, it's gone. I said, what do you mean? He said, it's gone. He said, it's been absolutely gutted. I said, yeah. I said, what about them? He said, well, there's all flowers outside, the names on it, lad. He said, so, it's gone, haven't he? And I was just like, no way. And he's like, oh, I said, lad, the booze is worth about 3 quid now. And he's just like, oh, I said, job done, no, lad. And he's like, innit? And he's going, he said, we want to do that. I said, no. I said, it is what it is, lad. I said, so there's them going, mate. And, you've got to give Ethan his due there, mate. He's acted fast there, innit? But, like Ethan said, he was round there anyway, and he's probably just thought, what happened around here? We'll just deal with that for him. So he was just 2 scouts in a favour. Sam, what a favour that was. So flying with that, we're happy. So, 11 sausages, like, lad. I said, that's mad, that is. So, I've got on my phone, I'm Googling all that. It's there, it's on Google, mate, it's on the news. I'm like, no way. It says accidental fire, but, it's under investigation, whatever. So, they must have a clue off, them people who investigate fires, and that they know if it's been started on purpose, don't they? They know if it's an auction or with that, but we were nowhere near there, were we? And, Ethan's professional, and so is lads, so they're not going to be nowhere near there. They're probably already back in Ireland, mate, just like what happened in there, do you know what I mean? They're well gone, them. Sounds, bonus, innit? So now we've only got to deal with Dabby, the fat meth. We've got to deal with him. And we've got to deal with this other kid who's up at Rav's, Rav works for, but then there's the other kid as well, remember, because there was 2 of them up there, but I don't even know where this other kid is. I haven't heard nothing about him yet. But we'll just get him first, and then we'll make him tell him where he lives, do you know what I mean? We're just going to do 2 birds with 1 stone, simple as that. So that's the plan. So I'm thinking, you know what, I want to book an holiday, yeah. I want to book an holiday, right? So we're going up there on Friday, and I want to get out the way for a bit. So I'm like, left Tosh on holiday. Like, yeah, let's go. I said, where do you want to go? He's like, wherever, lad. I said, all right. I said, what? Where do you want to go? He's like, I don't know. I said, what? Fancy IBIZA? Like, yeah, why not? I'm like, we haven't done IBIZA for ages, have we? Like, no. I said, all right, let's go then. On the phone, boom, starts booking all these to IBIZA. There's only me, 11 Tosh going. Phone's Robbie, he's like, no, they can't. Chris is just like, oh, no, I can't. I've sounds, and he just sound, whatever. It won't last long as 11 Tosh are coming. I don't mean not like that, but you know what I mean? You just know it's going to be 100% there. So we've got our bookings done and all that. We're going to IBIZA on Monday. Sounds. So we'll go up there on Friday, deal with him, sort all that out. And then if we can get Dabby before, that'll be even better, won't it? So just looks at Tosh, looks at Levy, and like, Dabby. And Levy's like, lad, I hate him anyway, the fat mess. And Tosh is like, lad, I'll do him. I'm like, lad, I said, there'll be a race because the tables want to do, you know what I mean? The cheeky little rat, who does he think he is, yeah? Little meth. So let's go and get on Dabby then, innit? He's like, go on, Sad. Says to Tosh, like, go and see what you can find out in the gym and all that without being bang on. He's like, all right, Sad. I said, Lev, go round that shop where he used to own, because the life, he's still normal and all that, right? And don't be bang on about it. Just see what's going on. I said, because the number we had for him, it doesn't work no more. I said, so I'm going to get on to my mates now on this WhatsApp group with us all lads. I'm going to find out where he is and all that. So like, all right, Sam. So I was like, go on, see you later. So we all split up from there and we goes our separate ways. So I'm on this dog group and one of my mates says to me, lad, come to mine. I'm like, what do you mean, come to mine? So I said, go on. So I fly down to the mates and all that. And he's sitting there with his kids in his bed and all that. She says to his bed and the kids say, go there, go and play and all that. Blah, blah. So we got him on. He's going, I know where he is. I said, where? He said, lad, I know where he lives. I said, you know where he lives? He went, yeah. He said, he's moved. I said, to a new house. He went, yeah. I said, lad, we went to his old house. And he was just gone. He went, yeah. He said, I've got his new address. I said, how? He said, because my sister, her fella, goes with them, but like there's nothing to do with them like that. He just knows them and all that, and he just thinks he's on one, always like, oh yeah, well, Dabby this, Dabby that, Dabby that. I said, yeah. I said, so what do you mean, lads, just come out in normal conversation. He said, no one knows that I've got anything to do with it, not like that. He said, but I'm telling you, he went, I ate him anyway, lad. He said, he bummed me, didn't he? I said, what for? He went, he bummed me for a box of limo. I said, when? He went, lad, about 2 years ago, lad. I said, what you do? He went, oh, lad, he said, I couldn't do really nothing about it, lads, you know what I mean? He's like, but you can. I'm like, lad, I will put him night myself. I said, so will 11 sausages going, he's still with 11. I'm like, yeah, you go, lad, he's sick. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. He said, lad, he's a sick kid. They were like, yeah, he's horrible, isn't he, lad? So he's like, so it's just, don't you give me the address? So I phoned 11 sausages. I'm like, I've got his address. They're like, what? Like, lad, I haven't even gone anywhere yet. Like, lad, I've got it sorted. So get to mine now. So gets back to mine, thought, you know what, brandy, stripe, let's go. So put a few stripes out, a few brandies out. Yeah, Sandy comes round. What's happening? I said, what's happening? Like, what do you want to do? I said, listen, we need to get him either Saturday, Sunday, but we're going up there on Friday. I don't really want to get him before then, because then when we go up there, we want to really like sort of just get it all done so that, you know what I mean, we don't have to come back to it. So we'll go up there, we'll go up to Scotland, we'll go and do what we've got to do there, and then we'll come back down, do him, and then go to IBIZA. In theory, it sounds good. Like, yeah, sounds, I'm like, lad, in theory, it sounds good. So a few days gone past, yeah, Friday morning, I've been phoning Dex, he's not answering me. Thinking, why is he not answering me? So I've been speaking to Troy as well. So I said, do you want to come to IBIZA? He's like, I can't, lad, I can't. He's like, but I would though. I'm like, all right, sounds, what have you been up to anyway? He said, I've been working with this other firm and that. I said, have you? I went to hear about the Leeds boozer. He went to see that in the news, you know. He said, I knew, recognised it because you told me the name. He went, was that you? I went, no, you know. So I told him about it and he was going, yeah, he's going, that was good that way. I said, yeah, it was boss. He said, what are you up to then? I said, I'm going up to Scotland today. I'm going to go and sort this lad out. He's like, all right, did you need hands? I said, no. I said, I'm not putting him night, lads. I'm just going to waste him. If he's got the dope for me there, then we're not even taking the boozer off him. But I was thinking, where's Dex? You know what I mean? He told me beer, he told me beer available. So I'm taking his boozer off him. I don't even know what he's done. He's done something. He's got all these documents. So, you know, I'm just, whatever, see what happens in it. So I phoned Rav, I'm like, what's that? He went, he's got the job. I said, he's got it 100 grand. He went, yes. I said, have you seen it? He went, yeah. I said, what? I said, have you counted it? He said, I'm not counting 100 grand. He said, but I've got a big bag of cash here. I said, what do you mean? You've got it? He went, lad, he doesn't want to see it. I said, listen, lad. I said, that's not an option. He said, I said, lad, make sure he's there. Listen to me. If he's not there by the time we get there, lad, I'm coming to his gaff and I'll take the dough and I'll do him anyway. He's like, all right, sound. I said, just tell him to man up, lad. You know, take accountability. Look what he tried to do. He tried to rob over £3 million worth of gear off us, lad. And what you think that sounds, 100 grand, it's nothing, lad. I said, he's lucky, lad. Like I said, we didn't know you, lad, to do him. And then Lev's in the background, just like, listen, Rav. And I'm saying to Lev, shut up, lad, look what I'm last time. He's like, no, me and Rav are sound. I'm like, lad, you're sound. Rav said, he bring in Lev. I'm like, lad. I said, you know. And he's like, all right, sound. I'm thinking, I can't be asked this going off with him and him again. Do you know what I mean? That's what caused it all. That's what caused it. So I'm saying to Lev, come here, you check them, pat them down, like, you better not. He's like, no, saying 10 rounds, making sure he's got none on this side, do you know what I mean? So I'm saying to Tosh, lad, I'm searching you as well. He's like, what? I said, lad, he can manipulate you, lad. And Tosh going, shut up, you TV. I'm like, all right, sound. So gets in the car, flies up north, yeah. And, you know, about 3 hours, 2.5 hours later, we get to this gaff, right? Now, this gaff is like one of Rav's gaffs. He's got this gaff in it. So as we walk in, this kid's just sitting there, and the kid is white. He just sees me, sees Lev and sees Tosh, and Lev's just staring at him, right? And Lev is just, you don't want Lev, you don't want Levy looking at you like that, you know, I swear to you. So Rav's like, what's happening? I'm like, what's happening? I said, money. He said, yeah, Rav gives me it. I said to Tosh, count that. He's like, what? I said, count that. He's like, you're fucking messing. I'm like, well, count the dough. Go in the car and count the dough. And he's like, all right, lads, go on. I said, go and count the money. So he walks over to this kid, he's sitting there, he said, what time, lads? And he's like, oh, he's just got his head down and all that. I was gonna talk to him, give him a bit of like advice in life at first, and then waste him. Lev just batters him. Lads, look at that, he's got what, lads? Lev just proper paced the kid everywhere, right? And I mean proper heavy, just smashed his head in, and I'm like, all right, Lev, that's it, lads. Lev, lad, get off him. You're going to kill him, get off him. And he's going, lad, that's cheeky, just bang. And Rav's just like, oh, lad, come on. Like, the kid was out ages ago, and Lev's just battered him. Lad, you're going to kill him. So Rav's like, come on. He's had enough. And I'm like, lad, you're going to have to phone him an ambulance, you know, lad. He's like, I know. I said, well, anyway, listen, we're gone. I said, what are you going to say? He said, I just don't know. He said, I don't know. He said, I'll just make sure. He said, just you get out of here now. I said, Tosh money. He's like, lads, all there. I said, Sam, I said, tell him he's lucky, lad. Rav's like, all right. Rav shakes my hand, and Lev goes to shake his hand, and Rav just turns around and walks away. And Lev said, you fat cunt, who's asked anyway? Rav turns around, I'm like, Jimmy, lad, just let's go. Gets back in the car. gets off. Now, I was going to question this kid on the other lads, but I had never had a chance because Lev just wasted him. So I'm like, oh, but you can't really start going back to him now, Joey, because he's been, it is what it is. So I phoned around, like, get us in for one little lad. He's like, lad, he's gone. I said, gone where? He went, no one's seen nothing of him since. And I'm like, are you lying to me? He's like, lad, I wouldn't lie to you. He went, I'll tell him that. He said, I'll tell you now. He said, no one's seen him, lad. He said, his bird, no one, he's just legged him, lad. I said, he's legged his bird and kids. He's like, yeah. I'm like, little rat. He's like, I think he just thinks that if he's not there, nothing'll happen. I'm like, yeah, well, have you told him that we won't do nothing? He went, yeah, well, I told him that, you know, you've got morals and you're not going to do nothing to his birds or kids, lad. He said, but, you know, I didn't, like, he's gone, lad, hasn't he? I'm like, all right. Is there any sight or sound of him, lad? Let me know. He's like, all right, I will. So I'm like, all right, sounds anyway. So phone's on. So now Dabby, innit? So he goes back, we've got the dog. So I'm like, yeah, so just split it between the three of us, right? There's yours, there's yours, there's yours. What are we doing? I said, well, I don't know where he lives and that. He says, well, what are we out tonight? I said, no. I said, lad, we're not out tonight. I said, it's not party mode, lad. I said, we've got to do this. We're going to IBIZA on Monday. So we've made an agreement that we're going to make the move on Sunday night, and then go on Monday. So I told us, all right, we'll have a little time out here, you know. We've done not a bad, you know, done a bad week's work so far. Look what's happened, you know. The lead has been sorted, and that Scottish kid's been sorted. We've got 100 grand off him, and you know what I mean? So it is what it is. I know it's only pennies, but better than nothing. And then taking his business off, and we wouldn't need Dex. Where's Dex? Where is Dex? Phoning Dex, no answer. What? Phone's his bird. I'm like, what time? She's like, hello, lad. I said, what time? I said, where's he? She said, I haven't seen him. I said, what do you mean you haven't seen him? Since when? She said, well, he was this morning. I said, all right. I said, someone been ringing him. She said, all right. She went, I just can't get hold of him. I said, what's happening with him? I said, he was all right. She's like, yeah, where's sound? You know, proper sound here. We're going Aldi and all that. I said, ah, yeah. I said, well, listen, tell him going Aldi on Monday, and I'll be back the Monday after, yeah. Only going for a week, me 11 tosh. She's like, all right, sound. I said, well, I don't hear him from them. Tell him to get on me. I said, I'm going to take me Percy with me, so tell him on that number when you speak to him, and you know what I mean, sort it. She's like, all right, sound. I said, he's all right, yeah. She went, you know what, she went, amazing. She had that little break to him as well, you know. She went, I don't know what you've said to him, but whatever you've said to him, it's sorted. I said, I never said nothing to him. I said, he was just talking about you all the time. I was like, proper playing the game and all that. And she's like, oh, no. I said, you know, it is what it is, innit? So she's like, oh, she went, all right, anyway, I'll speak to you. I'm like, go on, sound. So I says, yeah. I said, what do you want to do tonight then? I said, I'm not going out. I said, we're not partying. I said, come to mine. We'll get Robbie and we'll get Chris as well. So like, all right, so I phoned Robbie and Chris. I'm like, what are you doing tonight? Like, I said, yeah, I'll get to mine then. So like, all right, so, you know, all of us are in one place. We haven't all been in the same place for a while. We haven't like properly. So, you know, it was a boss night because normally Robbie or Sasha or somebody's got to get off or something because like Robbie's just gallivanting around on apps all over the UK, do you know what I mean? And Sasha's always with bed. But it was boss, mate. We had a proper boss night, do you know what I mean? It was just us. And it was just like all the original, do you know what I mean? We was having a laugh, just having a stripe, having a brandy, just having a laugh and all that. And I said to them, Robbie and Chris, we're going to IBIZA on Monday. Like, I know, lad, I know. She said, how long? I said, only going for a week, lad. I said, you should have come. And Chris is like, lad, I might fly over, but it won't be till Wednesday. I'm like, lad, sounds like you just sleep on the floor or something. I said, just get a flight over, lad. I said, you as well, Robbie. He's like, I might do, you know. I'm like, make sure you do if you can, like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, they had something to do, but it is what it is. So those stuff our bars, just all having a laugh and all. So anyway, everyone stays in mine. I can just hear murder upstairs over whose rooms what. I'm like, oh, you're a mess, you. So I just grabs a bit of limo, grabs a bit of brandy, goes in my room, just shuts the door, leaves them to it, tunes on my phone, see you later, right? So then it was just, so I woke up in the morning, and it's been late, but I woke up, gone downstairs, the gaff just smells like burnt scran. I'm like, Levy's like, lad, do you want a scran? I'm like, lad, I wouldn't even give that to a dog. What is that? He's like, bacon. I'm like, that's bacon. I'm like, oh, lad, you're a proper meth, you know. And he's just like, lad, that's Sam. Like, we've all been to jail. I'm like, yeah, Sad, you're horrible, you. You're horrible, lad. Everyone gets off and all that. Tonight's the night, innit? Tonight's the night. We're going to do Dabby. What's happening here, yeah? So everyone comes back to mine, all red to roll and that. So Lev's being the pie, he's got a thing and all that. So I'm like, who's going to do him? Lev's like, lad, I'm going to do him. He said, I hate him. I said, you know what? I said, might just do him myself, you know, lad. And he's like, lad, well, whatever you want to do. He said, we'll all do it. He said, we'll all just put one each in him. That's his mentality. He just thinks like that. He's just a weird kid, and I'm like, he's like, well, yeah, I'll put one in him, then you put one in him, and oh, shut up, lad, what are you on about? So he's like, all right, so I said, no, I said, yeah, I know what I said, I'm going to do him, lad. I said, I'm doing him, lad. I said, you know, I said, I've got the most beef with him, lad, so I'll do him, lad. I want him to know it's me as well. I want the last thing to see is me in his house, lad, yeah. He's like, all right, and Tosh is going, lad, you're just sick, you know. He said, why don't you run him over? I'm like, shut up, Tosh. I was like, shut up, Tosh. So it's the time's come, hasn't it? It's time for night Dabby, you fat mess, right? So he jumps in the car, goes to the pie, swaps it for a plater, gets out, so we're in a plater now, so, you know, the car can be lost, you can lose the car. So, like, Crip, what's happening? Crip's like, what's happening, lad? what's happening, lad? Well. Everyone seems to be going on holiday. He keeps like, I'm going on holiday with my bird. I'm like, hi, lad, yes, we're going away on Monday. He's like, oh, hi, yeah, so now I forgot to invite him because he just wouldn't come with us anyway, do you know what I mean? He just wouldn't come with us anyway. I don't think he likes us, but he just works with us. I think he loves us, but he doesn't like us, do you know what I mean? This shit we put that kid through, mate, honestly, was unbelievable, right? And it's time to go, so we're in the car, I'm like, you ready? I was like, lad, I was born ready. I said, lad, I just signed actually on a film. And Sasha's going, lad, he loves it, doesn't he? I'm like, yeah. I said, Sash, what's up with you? He's going, nothing, lad. I said, you're all right? He's going, yeah. I said, lad, what's wrong with you? Sash going on, like, lad, you look like you're parceling. He's like, shut up, lad, you're mad, aren't you? So I'm like, all right. I said, this is what we're going to do. I said, we'll drop you off on the corner. I said, just keep an eye out, lad. He's like, no. I said, what do you mean? He went, nah. He went, I'm staying in the car, lad. He said, all I'm doing it. He said, either or either. I'm not just standing there on watch like a muppet. Let's say to him, lad, that's what you are. You're stag boy. So listen to this. I'm the one who wants to do it, right? We've made the agreement, and Lev said, "Son, now we've got a thing in the gluey." So Bally's on, yeah, but because we had them on like Benny at the first, and all driving around, and he just pulls it down. Now, so as we get into the street, I can see his house right now. The garage is open, so I'm thinking, so as I like crawls past, you can see him in the garage with his back to us, doing something like he's got a bag doing something like that. Lev just grabs the piece out the car, jumps out and just sprints over and laughs at me and say, ha ha. And I'm like, you just there, bang, bang. And then Lev runs back and I'm like, did you get him? He went, no. I went, what do you mean? He went, lad, you told me you wanted one. I'm like, haven't you done him? He's like, no. I'm like, lad, you're mad. He went, only got him in the legs. I'm like, lad. So I just grabbed the thing, ran over and just lifted him back, like, what's happening, lad? Remember me? And he just got, just went, boom, boom, just shoot to the edge. See you later, mate. Yeah. Runs back in the car. I'm like, you are messing you, man, lad. We said we were going to go change the pieces. What are you on about, lad? You are a proper banger. So Tosh is like, lad, see what I mean? He's like a proper kid. And Lev said to him, shut up, lad, at least I got out the car, you shit house. So these are just arguing. I'm like, he's so mad, he just flies off, gets back to the pie. And we sticks the thing in the pie as well, gets our car back, gets a little wash down, but no one did nothing, so no one's done near him, you know, there's no DNA at all anyway. So I'm like, oh, yo, man, takes the valleys off, puts the valleys in the pie as well, takes our tops off, we got different tops on and all that. I mean, I've took my kicks off, got shorts on under it. Sam, we know what we're doing, do you know what I mean? It's nothing new. Flies back to mine, we're like, lad, that's it, done. Simple as that, yeah. Next day, never hears a peep, no one hears a peep, right? Sounds right. Go home. Have you got all your stuff ready? Lev's like, lad, my bird's got mine on. I'm like, how's your bird even letting you go? He's like, lad, she just is. He's like, I think she feels like she owes you something, lad. I said, she fucking does owe me something, lad. Said to Tosh, are you ready? He's like, yeah, I've got all my stuff ready. I'm like, go on, we'll leg it then. And then come back to mine. I'm going to take my car to the airport and like go on sound. So he gets off and all that. So I'm just on the phone speaking to everyone. Listen, I'm not going to be back for a bit. All of them graph phones are going off and all that, blah, 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 blah. Sound. They comes back to mine, gets to the airport, gets off. Boom, plane boarding, boom, gets on the plane. And we're going to IBIZA, yeah, for a week. Let's see what happens when we come back. Because I know something's going to happen.